My name's Nobby Clark. I'm from North Walsham. This is my co-driver Luke, he's from Fakenham, and Martin, the gunner in the back, is from Erpingham. We're all based in Norfolk, and we put on an airborne jeep and glider pilot and SAS scenario. This particular jeep was 1943. It's a Ford with a Willys engine, and it's the configuration for the SAS in Europe in 1944. It's the kind of jeep my teacher at school used to drive, and he was on Operation Houndsworth in 44 from June the 10th. He was dropped in a group of 5 by parachute, and then later on the next couple of days they dropped in 5 jeeps and another 33 guys, and they were dropped in the Morvan, which is approximately 200 miles west of Paris. Their mission was to destroy and stop all the German supplies for D-Day, which they did for 3 months. And the gun configuration is Europe SAS for that year. So you've got a twin Vickers, you've got a single Vickers on the front, which Luke has got there, and on the back, a later addition was a twin Vickers, because the idea was to fire, shoot, and then get out, ambush the convoys. But the Germans got wise to this, and on the last convoy, they put a 20mm cannon. So they'd lift the flap and they'd fire at the jeep. But if you had some stuff on the back, you could fire back. They lived in the forest. They got some resupplied, like with parachutes and the containers we've got. My teacher was on radio comms, so every day he'd have to radio back to London for supply and reports on what they found. And this is the Vickers machine gun, which David Stirling, in the early days of the SAS, purloined from the RAF Gloucester Gladiators. These are replicas, but the magazines are real. Each mag will hold 100 rounds of .303, mixed ball, tracer and incendiary. And a good operator can fire 1,000 rounds in a couple of minutes. You spent your evenings loading up the magazines with that kind of ammunition. At today's prices, we worked out, with all the mags here, it would cost £12,000 to rearm the Jeep, which is quite phenomenal. The later Jeeps had half-armoured screens on both sides that went up and down, and this Jeep's got all the configuration of the slatted grille been cut, all the extra stuff cut off. There's a bustle on the back to carry extra kit. So after Operation Houndsworth, they then regrouped, went back to England at Highlands House, and went back into Germany, Holland, and through up into Norway. And this Jeep ended up in Norway, so it was either 6 Airborne or SAS, because all the plates on the front here are Norwegian. And after the war, after the 6 Airborne and the SAS disbanded the Germans that were there, mainly SS, they left all the army stuff. And this Jeep was in the Norwegian army. And it was imported back into this country in about 82, 83. And I got it from a dealer in Coltishall, just outside Norfolk. But it's pretty accurate, pretty on the ball, just keeping it going. You can get most spares now, which is good. Most things are made. Tyres are quite expensive, something like £250 each. But they're great little bits of kit. They were only made to last us the war, but this is now, what, 75, 80 years old, isn't it? Yeah. There you go.